Rank up in rocket racing by mastering the start. In this video, I'm going to show you how to reliably get the best possible 100 boost start, as well as some additional tips on what to do when you get a bad start to help you get back in the race. With that said, let's get straight into it. So getting the boost start. If you've played a couple of races of rocket racing, you've no doubt realized by now that there is a system to getting a fast start by seeing other players blast ahead right off the jump. The way to get this boost start is to time it so that you press the throttle right when the final light turns green. The closer you are to timing this perfectly, the more boost you'll get off the start. The amount of boost you can get ranges from 0 all the way up to 100, with 100% being awarded when you've timed it exactly perfect. The timing of the start can vary from race to race. With some races, the lights will go really quickly, and others, it can go much slower. Here are some tips on getting the timing. You can use the visual cues and the audio cues from the first 3 lights to anticipate the timing of the 4th and final light, as the timing between all 4 of the lights is exactly the same. In addition to using these cues, one technique you may find helpful to get the timing more consistently is to use a physical timing mechanism, like nodding your head, tapping your foot, or even saying the beeps out loud to yourself. You may feel silly doing it, but this trick works. Doing a physical action with each cue is subconsciously training your body and mind to expect that 4th cue and be on time for it. Like I said, you may feel dumb or silly doing this, but it will make you more consistently get that good or even perfect timing. And if you're trying to rank up, then you absolutely know how crucial getting ahead early in these races can be to placing high. So what do we do once we've gotten that boost start? When you get a good start, anywhere between 85% and 100% boost, do not try to start rocket drifting or chain drifting right away. It can take a few seconds for the speed boost you get to be fully applied, and I found that it's often much faster to drive in a straight line off a good boost start than it is to start chain drifting, as you'll end up cutting your boost short. Accept the straight line boost of speed and prepare yourself positionally to hit the first turn perfectly. One other thing to look out for when you get a great boost start is to try and avoid collisions. If you're starting at the back of the grid and you get a good boost, running into a slower car in front of you will kill your speed and momentum, so avoid that at all costs. With that said, no matter how much we try, not every start is going to go perfectly. But there are still some things we can do to help keep us in the race and still give ourselves a chance to win. One really important mechanic that exists in this game that sometimes gets overlooked is drafting. If you get a slow start and people blow past you, immediately start drafting behind the people in front of you that you can. Drafting actually provides a very good amount of speed buildup in this game, so take advantage of that free speed increase whenever you can. Next thing you should do is chain drifting. You'll want to immediately start chaining some drifts together to try to gain not only some additional speed, but the extra turbo progress as well. As I mentioned earlier in the video, when you get a boosted start, it's not really to your advantage to be drifting, as it's slower than riding out the full boost. So when you get a bad start or a slower start, this is an opportunity for you to really try and get some good drifts going. Build up that turbo meter quicker than those in the front of the pack are going to be able to. The next thing you're going to want to do if you get a slow start is really dominate the first turn. While starting at a slower speed overall is definitely a disadvantage, with less speed comes more control. In this game, when you have a ton of speed going into a turn, it can be much harder to nail a tight, perfectly executed turn. We've all blown into the wall at high speed. So if you get a bad start, immediately shift your focus to nailing this first turn with as good of a racing line as possible and as clean of a drift as possible. Combine this with some drafting behind the people in front of you, and you'll be shocked just how often you're able to slingshot back into the top of the pack coming out of the first turn, despite how bad your start was. Finishes in rocket racing often come down to differences of mere milliseconds, so every single one counts. So whether you get a perfect boost start or a slow start, implement these strategies in your next games, and I promise you will find yourself placing higher more consistently. That's it for this video. If you find this content helpful, let me know by hitting that like and subscribe button or leaving a comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.